Hello everyone. In this video, I would like to talk about, honestly, this one interesting question that I have at times. Why, and no offense to people who ever watches this or anyone that's interested in this video, but my question at times would be, where and why does like ratchetness within the black community ever become like a thing, or why has it ever been incorporated inside the black community? The only reason why I had this as a question is because of the fact of, and this is not even me trying to like honestly shoot shots or anything. I'm being completely honest. There's no shots here. There might be a little bit of some statements where I might feel like they have been shot, but at the same time, it is not that is not the case. That's not the case overall. The main case is just why, and also the reason why I make this as a statement or as a question is because of the fact that I feel like us as black people, we can do better. Like the black community as a whole, I feel like we can all do better when it comes to like the whole thing as ratchetness as an attribute, or as, I guess, like a trait or a personality trait with us, or most of us. We can do way better. I mean, we could do hella better than this. I mean, for God's sake, we talk about each other's looks. We talk about each other's, like, honestly, appearance. Like, okay, let me explain what I mean by looks and appearance. Looks as in, like, sometimes we can go on someone when it comes to their natural face, or just how they are, to also like how they kind of like dress and etc. Looks can be that. Now, appearance, I guess I would like to say just small like self-care, like, I guess, details or small things such as that, as a factor, and those small details would probably be like someone's hairline or someone's like hair in general, to like whether or not they done their nails, just different things that has to do with like small little self-care details. Yes, it's important for you to look right and look straight, and also like just be flexing on them, and or just, just looking like you honestly know how to, like, I guess, self groom yourself. But at the same time, it's just Lord Jesus, it, you know how like most of us black people all, especially like us Christian black people, or people black people who are Christian, they always up here like the Ten Commandments. Lord have mercy. When it comes to hair and just self care here and there, it just feels like that's how much I feel like self care with us be, like how far we would go when it comes to self care and stuff for either our parents. It would be just as high as the Ten Commandments in from the Bible. I'm like, for us black people, I'm like, Ten Commandments, you might as well call it 12 or 11, because, mm, just, don't also get me started when it comes to other piece of ratchetness, where it's like, I guess, going deeper into appearance, it would be just like, okay, per se, take me personally, for example, as a blurred representation when it comes to black people. As a blurred, I'm not going to lie. It's not always going to, I'm not always going to be like basically someone to where I'm like a stereotype where it's like, oh, I'm wearing like glasses or goggles or just something else. Not 24/7. At least not 24/7, because like I said before, when it comes to fits or either just appearance here and there, it's like everyone needs to a little bit know than like how to dress when it comes to their looks here and there. But aside from that, it's just, take me for example. It's like, yeah, I don't per se like take the stereotype for blur fashion or anything all the time 24/7. I will say it 24/7 to where I wear like graphic tees, and they flex my, like, I guess, interest here and there. But when it comes to accessories like goggles and glasses and stuff, I'm not always wearing it. But when I do wear it and I choose to wear it, especially where like I choose to wear it to random places, like the mall or either like the movies. And if I'm with family or with like a group of people that I know that are not acquainted with, I guess, my interest slash culture of being a blur or either just liking geeky stuff, they're gonna be like, why you gotta wear stuff like that? Or either why you gotta wear like certain accessories in certain places. And I'm like, because I kind of choose to. And honestly, when it comes to my age, it's like I'm basically grown. And on top of that, along with me being grown, it's like I guess it's kind of go hand in hand with what I was saying in the beginning or the first parts of this video, where it's like when you kind of know how to dress in appearance and stuff. I'm like, look, do not judge like someone's appearance, like if whether they're different or whether it's like they don't fit the mold. Just don't do it. And I feel like that goes hand in hand with ratchetness. Ratchetness itself could go as far as that because heck, and then I had like a argument with one homie like a while back over one thing. Me me and this one dude, I'm just gonna call him Jake. Me and this one dude named Jake, we kind of got into some like argument saying, okay, per se, I went into his family cookout or whatever, and I wore goggles. He ain't gonna mind it, but he gonna ask me why I'm wearing goggles while his other like family members are there, and then I'm like, because I just chose to rock them, and on top of that, it's just me, and I chose to this day to just wear them. I feel like there's no big deal. But then he's pointing out, but what about the other people? And I'm like, man, no offense, but it's like, man, look, you don't see me looking too like like abnormal, and on top of that, you don't see me looking like I'm too indifferent. So like, why are you going to question me over one small thing or one small detail when it comes to my appearance? Especially if you know my y'all, all of y'all know, especially you know my character and know my personality. So it's like, no, I ain't going to tell my boy to sit down, but it's just, come on, man. And then his argument is going to be like, okay, you gonna wear those. What if I came to your like cookout and then just sagged my pants and just also wore like a Tupac shirt and etc. And then I had an argument with him saying, man, look, that's a whole different story. I mean, Tupac, okay, fine. I'll give him a little room, at least like 10% room to wear a Tupac shirt because that's culture. But sagging your pants and stuff, I'm like, no, that's a little bit too far, especially if you're doing it on purpose. That's too far because by the end of the day, that's ratchetness. And I make that as a strong, like, defense slash wall to point it out because I'm like, that's what we always been doing for years. And on top of that, when it comes to the sagging topic itself, it's always been a controversial thing, especially for the boomers. Black boomers, they will always say, pull up your pants, or either just do better and stuff. I'm like, come on now. Then I had to check my boy with that. Now I was somewhat disappointed in him when he asked me this question because dude likes anime like me too, and on top of that, he games a little bit. So I'm like, come on, man, don't do this to me. I'm not going to excommunicate you or anything after this, but it's mm, just So he was okay with me over time after the whole conversation. I went up in this cookout and we chilled and just yeah. But other than that, yeah, like after that conversation, we squashed it. But aside from all that, it's just that's what I'm talking about, y'all. The ratchetness, I feel like, is always a thing. It always is like some underlying thing to where it's always been in the black culture or black community, and I shake my head at it. Now, my theory would be just if I had to like go into like more of my point and also like go on the climax and stuff. I feel like my theory could be this, and it could be a two-way theory. Even in Boondocks, they point this out. One theory is what if basically Black Ratchetness started when like certain TV shows and certain like pro entertainment programming inside like TV in general or the Hollywood community itself. That's where it originated from because there's so many movies out there when it comes to black orientation from back then or like in modern times. It always has to go with stereotypes like gang black people being gangbangers or either black people probably being villains or either black people just have a whole lot of violence and cursing and stuff. Now, cursing that's one other thing. Everybody curse, but aside from that, it's just you have a whole lot of like drug dealing and violence to also gun violence, different things like that, and nothing original. It's always stereotypes here and there, and that's one theory. Another theory would be just the fact of maybe black ratchetness originated from mainly like black families. Not all black families. I'm not going to say all because shoot, Lord knows there are some black families, including my boy Jake, um, I know that have like certain relatives that are into like geeky stuff and etc. And or just actually people who may I dare say when it comes to a black stereotype have some home training or were taught right to where they not ratchet altogether. So why the black families thing is argument when it comes to another theory of mine is because of the fact of well, just like how you have people who are straight and just also just don't have any black ratchet tendencies whatsoever or ratchetness when it comes to like a personality trait, it would be just the fact that there are also black members in black families to where they are ratchet 100% and maybe it just rubs off on other black members in different ways, whether it be someone's little cousin or either like maybe there you was an infant and maybe you were around another person as an influence that is ratchet and you picked it up, or either you just as time like went by and you grew older and you're around other people, you let other people change your perception and change you to a degree to the point where you do have ratchetness as like a like what's the word? A personality trait as a whole as well too. That's why people can be put in to the category as another theory into this whole topic of why as a black community we have to have ratchetness as a thing and why does it have to be passed on, kind of similar if I had to go as far as to say it has to be passed on like black anger or either just I don't know black other black stereotypical things when it comes to stuff like this when it comes to the topic, like for example black anger as a whole. I feel like black anger is justified because by the end of the day, when you get older and you learn more things when it comes to black community and or like the infrastructure of all of our struggles and what we went through from the past, especially to this day now, because arguably if you go to like I don't know, HBC, especially HBCUs, or either like you read certain like historic literature, you kind of learn that yeah, oppression has been abolished, but yet at the same time, oppression is still is like pretty young. Like the time that it was abolished, it wasn't that long ago. And on top of that, it's still an oppressive thing because you still have people who discriminate in people who have like racism or a prejudice towards black people as a whole. Now, ration is why I say it's a passed on thing is because as I said before, Hollywood kind of made that as a whole thing as well too, or as a whole like thought or ideal that black communities or black people are always like that. But yeah, at the same time, that's not always the case. And I think that's how it also contaminated like black people as a whole in like everyday modern life because they're exposed to that. Even in the Boondocks, they kind of pointed out because like Huey as a black character in Boondocks, like sat there and watched like I don't know Atlanta Housewives or like Love and Hip Hop for like 24/7 or 48 hours, and he actually like felt all the ratchetness hit him at once, and it just like messed him up a little bit. And Huey is kind of known in the Boondocks as one of the main woke black characters that are smart and also like intuitive to know what the heck's going on in the whole Boondock universe. And the Boondocks universe is no different than the real universe because by the end of the day they have like conspiracies or either just situations that goes on. And Huey's the only main one that will be woke to be like, nah, we need to prepare, or either black people can be better than this. Give give you a good example. Honestly, the R. Kelly case when it comes to the first episode of the Boondocks. Huey honestly was the only main black character in the whole like Supreme Court to say, no, R. Kelly is not like innocent. And he even pointed out the fact of yes, the justice system in America is messed up and unjust when it comes to like making charges towards like black people in the black community, but R. Kelly is not one of them when it comes to the whole case with him and his messed up fetish type of tendencies towards young women and stuff when it comes to him making old music videos about him peeing on young women and stuff. And then even Huey made a statement saying, look, if you really want to help R. Kelly, put him in a rehabilitation, like, I don't know, institution to where you have a psychiatrist and talk to him, or either put him in a institution to where he's honestly introduced to like older women his age or appropriate ages and stuff. But aside from all that, honestly, that just goes my point of saying that honestly we could do better as black people, and honestly drives my point into saying more of why we as black people always have to have ratchetness as a stereotypical like personality trait. But that's my video. Please leave a like if you liked the video, and please also leave comments of what your thoughts are when it comes to this topic. Thank you and bye.